What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my latest video, and this one is a new series I'm creating, and it's called 1001 Video Games You Must Play in Your Lifetime. In this one, we're going to be looking at God of War, the new God of War, released in 2018, and in all honesty, this one has rejuvenated my love of video games in the modern era. Let's get straight into it.
So it's developed by Santa Monica Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It is a third-person action-adventure game released on April 20th, 2018. Following on from the God of War series, the PlayStation exclusives, this chronologically is the 8th installment of the franchise, but is a direct sequel to God of War 3. Unlike previous games, this game is not set in Greek mythology, but rather Kratos has relocated and it is set in Norse mythology. The main protagonists are Kratos, the former Greek god of war, and his son Atreus. Following the death of Kratos' second wife and Atreus' mother, the pair journey to fulfill a promise to her to spread her ashes at the highest peak of the 9 realms. Kratos keeps his troubled past a secret from Atreus, who is unaware of his divine nature. Along their way, they encounter monsters and gods of the Norse world.
And here I thought your kind was supposed to be so enlightened, so much better than us, so much smarter. And yet you hide out here in the woods like a coward.
First and foremost, the story. Absolutely fantastic story. Got really sucked into it. Thought it was excellent. I loved the change in the weaponry, the Leviathan axe that he gets instead of his regular signature chained blades. At the start of the game was a refreshing change and made the game feel somewhat different, although familiar. I really liked the father-son element to the game. I really liked that. Being a father myself, I can relate, although my relationship with my son would be very different to that. You really saw Kratos' sensitive time coming through, his love for his son, even though he didn't want to show it. He was very tough on his son, but you could see that he loved him. I thought that controlling the two of them together was a joy. They complemented each other, and the control system was flawless, and Atreus was actually a big help, rather than just being a bit of a sort of, quirky thing you could do, having the two characters together. It actually worked quite well. I love the relocation to the Norse mythology. I mean, I love Norse mythology anyway. I always have since I was a kid. I really liked Vikings and things like that. So again, it refreshed the series, moving it away from the Greek mythology, which they'd pretty much done to death during the other 7 games. The graphics in this game are phenomenal. They've really pushed the limits on the system. Really love the graphics. It looks so good. The battle system, the way you fight and control Kratos and Atreus, I said, is good. I loved all the moves you can unlock, and the axe is just a really good system. I really enjoyed the axe and how it worked. I really like the over-the-shoulder camera view, somewhat different to the old God of War games again. I really like the camera view and the way it looked. It didn't have the static camera angles of the old games. It was pretty much you could just move the camera where you wanted it. The franchise has just felt somewhat reimagined, and I absolutely loved that. Loved what they've done with this franchise and how they've taken it from being somewhat stale and making it again the pinnacle of games at the moment. It's really rejuvenated my love of games at the moment. The character design, again, looked great. I loved the new look of Kratos, the older, more rugged Kratos with the beard. His armour, he didn't look out of place in the Norse world. The dwarves are hilarious. Brock and Sindri, the two brothers, I found them to be one of the most funny elements of the game. one of the best parts of the game was the interactions with the dwarves. I thought they were great. The boss fights are epic, as you would expect from a God of War game, and the boss fight with the dragon was one of my favourites. The rage ability was useful. I really enjoyed that. It got you out of sticky situations. The travel into different realms. You didn't just stay in Midgard or Earth. You got to go to some of the other realms, which was good. Yeah, for me, I was really disillusioned with modern gaming. I've been sinking myself into the old retro stuff. I had an Xbox for the majority of this generation, and I'd fallen out of love with gaming, mainly because the Xbox has got no exclusives whatsoever that are worth having the system solely for. So I've jumped and got a PlayStation 4 basically for this game, for God of War, and I'm so glad I did. It is definitely a game worth buying an entire system for, but now I have a big catalogue of games to go through, so that's great. But yeah, in terms of talking about God of War, absolutely phenomenal, and I will give it 10 out of 10. Yep, you heard it here. I don't really give things a perfect score, but I can't fault the game. 10 out of 10 for me. Okay guys, hope you've enjoyed this review of God of War. If you haven't played it, I would go out and get it immediately. It is fantastic. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Leave some comments in the comment section below about your thoughts on the game if you've played it, and if you haven't, if you want to ask any questions about the game, please leave those in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, guys, consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this, as well as other nerdy stuff. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Take it easy.